Hello, ladies and gentlemen. This is Eddie Marcus, spokesman and advocate of basic human rights for all people. And I have a wonderful, wonderful message for you today, and I want you to sit back and get ready for it. It's coming to you live from station WEBM. That's wonderful Eddie B. Marcus, operating smack down from the top of the sky, the spiritual realm, right to wherever you are. And when it's over, perhaps you'd like or make a comment or subscribe, not just to the station, but to the message at large. Thank you, ladies and gentlemen. Today I want to speak to you on a grand subject, and that subject matter is, did Jesus visit the USA in the 90s? And is Jesus still there? You know, the reason that Christians and others have no power is because they do not know anything. They only believe, which can change every day or every minute. As believers, they choose to follow the simplest and the easiest sayings or the easiest way. They reject truth because truth is hard. The truth sets them free. Simple stuff makes them feel good. The truth requires citizens to take back their power and do the right things and observe the right actions among themselves. To them, this is hard and confusing and requires action on their part. And it is easier to believe that a rich man that has his own money does not require financial support from others. A man who cares about them and is the only one that can help them and will help them requires nothing of the citizen but their vote. They will take the easier part and the easier path every time, even though it gets them nowhere. There was once a man who, as a child, had a visit from the spiritual realm in the form of a miracle. This was evidence of a power more magnificent than any ever expressed by human beings. Later, it was recognized as inspiration of God. Many years later, this man was called on to render a service to these, having no knowledge of such existence, that trouble was in their future. However, it could be avoided if they would accept the truth being delivered to them. Are you listening? This truth stated that the church was on the path to hell. Having received this message, verification was given. This man was sent around the country and certain countries to carry this message with focus on the response. The response was the evidence of the truth of the message. Other tools were used to get the truth out so that excuse could not be given. The other sources were radio, pamphlets, brochures, CDs, DVDs, cable access, as well as public presentations were exercised. Still, it appeared no one was moved. Later, this man violated some of the state and a nation's rules of order for the purpose of garnishing attention for the cause of his dedication. This effort revealed a lack of human interest as well. Later on, this man changed to other platforms. 3 times during the 80s and the 90s, he ran for U.S. president, championing the message of the path to hell. The other part of the truth is that God is the author of all existence. In recognition of this truth, humans were being called to honor this truth by doing unto others as they'd have others unto them. If they could accept this truth, the light necessary to open doors that leads to peace and prosperity and the joy of life would be open to them. Now this would allow all to have access to the benefits necessary for survival, including food, clothing, shelter, health care, and education. And all these necessities would be met by engaging humans in careers of choice, making it a pleasure in a new life that denied the need for any lying, any cheating, any stealing, any Ponzi schemes, any terror or war. Yet he was ignored at these efforts and later sought after the platform of United States Senator, Governor of the state of Minnesota, Mayor of the city of St. Paul, Minnesota, and later Mayor of the city of Woodbury, Minnesota. Still ignored, he decided to try breaking laws for the benefit of attention to the message. Instead, it got him prison time. Having failed again to arouse the people, he chose to focus attention to social media, Facebook and YouTube, going full circus, or should I say full circle, that's what I meant, going full circle. And as of November 2016, the church and the people of the country went to the polls and casted a vote for what they referred to as the lesser of two evils, and voted for their next leader and spokesman of the American people, evil. At the present, it appears as if nature and the spokesman of evil is bringing the nation to its knees. While multitudes are constantly seeking ways to advance their social living by purchasing Powerball and megabuck gambles, while at the same time showing no interest at the growth, or should I say at the same time showing more interest at the growth of an Asian baby's hair than for the answer to their prayers, for which they pray every day and every night. So I ask you, for those of you who have read history, they said there was a man that came to the earth by the name of Jesus, speaking the same message in a different kind of way than what I have shared with you. And the benefit of his efforts were they killed him. And in the 90s and 80s and up currently, that message was continued across the nation. But it was easier to believe that someone would lie to you and that lie would work for you because it required nothing of you. And so this is the move that was taken. So I ask you today, those of you who are listening to this message, did Jesus come to America in the 80s and 90s? And is Jesus still here? And if he is, what power have the people given him? Or what power have the people accepted from truth? The evidence, my friend, is Donald Trump, is racism, is bigotry, is hatred, is lies, terrorism, and war. Now, does that answer your question? Well, nature says that it's flooding, storming, hurricanes, earthquakes, tsunamis, heat, cold. Does that answer your question? Perhaps you'd better wake up. The time draws nigh. Once again, ladies and gentlemen, I want to thank you so very much. This is Eddie Marcus, spokesman and advocate of basic human rights for all people. See you next time. Bye-bye.